Good afternoon, everybody. It's Tim from the Four Hounds Homestead. And today what we're going to be doing is we are going to start planting our fall outside garden. I've got everything set up and ready, and I'm just going to come over here and get set up and show you guys what we're going to plant and see what happens. Stay tuned. All right, so here we are coming into the outside garden, and as you can see, here are our surprise tomatoes that were supposed to be sweet potatoes, but I'm not sure what's going to happen here. We've got some flowers already on them. I tied them up, I trimmed the bottoms so that they would grow a little bit better, and we'll see. But moving on to where we're going to plant today is this box right here. One of our viewers asked us to do something for a super simple garden crop, and we're gonna do that today. So I am planting in this large garden box that I built, but you can do these in like a bucket if you want. I've got a couple of extra buckets over here. I don't plan to plant in them today. We're just going to do this garden here, but whatever I'm doing here will transcend into, can transcend into your buckets as well. Okay, so first I'm just going to go through the different types of seeds that we're going to use, and what the different crops that we're going to plant. All of these are courtesy of our friends at So True Seed in Asheville, North Carolina. So we're going to do some tender sweet carrots, some spinach, some romaine lettuce, some butter crunch lettuce, some radishes, and some slow boat arugula. So let's start over here. And I'm going to start with the carrots. Now again, these are super easy to plant, and there's not a lot that goes into it. Just making sure that it's deep enough and that you don't put too many in the hole. I usually put 2 to 3 in the hole at a time, and you'll see that in a minute. But I have a little rod here that I use. It's just a rod that I found somewhere, and it tends to be the perfect size hole. So I'm gonna make a little hole in a row, and then I'm gonna come back through and I'm gonna plant. So give me just a few minutes here. I'm only gonna go about 1 inch deep. You don't want it too deep or else it won't be able to germinate. You see, I do a little hole. I keep the separation 6 or 8 inches just to make sure that we've got enough space, because I will have to come back later and thin these so that they don't bunch together, because if you put too many in and they all germinate, then what happens is you have carrots that grow together and they're weird and ugly, and it's not really what you want. So there's the first row for the carrots. I'm gonna do another row over here. All right, all of our holes are made. Let me get my seeds out. And I just pour them in my hand. Try not to put too many in there, because that's probably good enough right there. Because remember, you're only going to put max of 3 in each hole. And again, you can do these in pots or whatever you have. And there you go. And now once I've got those planted in there, I'm just going to come back with my rod. I'm just going to cover it up. You don't have to tamp down super hard, just cover it up enough so that the seeds are in their little homes and ready to germinate and grow. Now, I have been using straight compost in these boxes lately. I put a really bad mix of topsoil in last year, and it did nothing. The ground in the boxes became really hard and didn't grow very well. So this year I'm trying to just bolster the health of the soil. I used straight compost in the greenhouse this year for the spring, and our crops went haywire, so it seems to be working. But you can get your soil tested through your local extension. All you got to do is get a sample and send it off to them, and they will come back and give you a readout of the pH of your soil and what all the values are, and they'll even tell you, okay, add this kind of additive to it, or don't do this or don't do that. So your local extension is a really good place to get your soil tested. It's a very nominal charge. I think it's like $5 a sample or something like that. Well worth it. And so next we're gonna do radishes, and on the back, so here's the front of our So True seed radish that I'm getting. They're pretty tasty. I like to pickle them, use them in salads. But on the back, it gives you kind of a little bit of a guide. You see how it says, they want the seed spacing to be a 1/2 inch, seed depth, that hole that I make is 1/2 inch. Takes about 4 to 11 days to sprout. Mature spacing is 1 to 2 inches, because you're gonna want to come in and kind of clean them up a little bit. 24 days to harvest, and there are approximately 250 seeds in this packet. It does say packed for 2023, but I know that I've had good luck with So True, and the seeds continue to propagate for me. So it's your discretion if you want to go by the date on there. I haven't had any problems. So next up, radishes. Here we go. I'm gonna come out here with and make sure that there's adequate spacing in between my carrots. Go about a 1/2 inch. Like I said, I go a little bit further spacing just to make sure that there's good space for them to grow. And I'll do 2 rows of radishes as well. Get my seeds out. Again, I only put 1 to 2 in each hole. maybe 3. Again, you can put these in. They're super simple to start out with if you like radishes. You know, radishes are kind of an acquired taste. Not everybody likes them. I'll get my rod again, come through, cover it up. And there you have it. We're gonna move on and we're gonna plant our lettuces and our spinach and our arugula further down here. And I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. It doesn't look like much more than what it looks like right now, but they'll be in the ground. So this one here is going to be my spinach, and I'm gonna plant more spinach because I love spinach. It's so hardy. It usually does really well. And we use it for a lot of things. It's so good for you. So I'm gonna plant 3 rows of spinach here. And again, these are super easy crops to grow. The only factor that I have to consider at this point is the bugs. Are the bugs gonna get me this year? You see, I'm putting 2 to 3 in each hole. They're about 1/8 of an inch, 1/2 an inch deep, the holes. And hopefully in a few weeks, we'll start seeing our spinach come up. And when they do come up, you know, you don't have to harvest it all at one time. You know, you can cut pieces of what you need, just like going to the grocery store. You can cut what you need out, eat it, and let the rest of it continue to grow until, of course, it gets too long in the tooth. And sometimes, depending on the variety of spinach that you get, they will bolt and it becomes bitter. So just be mindful of that. Long reach. There you go. Come back, cover them up gently. Don't pack it down. Just enough for the seed to be covered. Super easy crops to grow. But with all crops, you have to watch for pests and figure out how you're going to do that, whether it be coming out and flicking them off or picking them off with your fingers or using some other kind of method. So there you have it. All right, folks, we've got arugula here, 3 rows of spinach. We've got 2 different types of lettuce. We have romaine and butter crunch. And then further down, we've got some radish and carrots. So now we're gonna, the bed is moist. I've got this sprinkler here that goes off every morning. So I'm not gonna add any more water to it because I don't want it to get overwatered. I'm not going to mark these because I know which ones I planted and where. But if you're doing bigger crops or what have you, and you're kind of like, oh man, I forgot what I planted, then you can either, you can put stakes down with a label, or, you can, find some other way to label your rows so that you remember what you have. And while we're out here, so we got this planter right here that has been, taken over by weeds. So we're going to leave that. I think what I'm going to end up doing is trying to plant some herbs in there this fall. So August is the planting season for a lot of things. And what I'll do is I'll put a link up in our page there with like a growing guide for North Carolina. And here's our sweet potatoes. They're doing pretty good. I came out here a few days ago and pulled out a bunch of weeds and did a lot of weed eating, and they're flourishing. You see, I'm surprised the deer haven't been in here yet to eat the leaves, but you can eat these leaves, by the way. You can saute them up with onions and garlic, and it tastes like sweet potato, just a more mild version. Really, really tasty. So actually, it might not be a bad idea for us to pick some of these leaves and fry them up. They'll be good. So there you have it. I hope everybody took something away. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and help support us by going onto our Square page and picking up some of our merch and supporting the Four Hounds. Have a great day. So one thing I did was, in order to prevent the bugs from getting on here in the first place, was I took this cover and I put it over top of the bed. I was reading some stuff last night, and it said to, immediately once you plant, before they germinate, to put these covers on, and that will help prevent the bugs from getting on there in the first place. So it's a little bit long. I think this cover is 24 feet long, and right now it's just kind of draped over the side, but I will get some clips and put them, places sporadically here to kind of help prevent things from crawling up the side. It's not going to be foolproof, but I think it will work pretty well. These things are supposed to be not waterproof, but will allow the water to come through from the sprayer, and will hopefully protect them from the onslaught of bugs. So I hope this is helpful.